All right, and we are live. What's going on, everyone? So I'm going to stop sharing that, pull up the program really quick. Just arrange things here. And we should be good to go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so I mentioned this like a while ago. I mentioned that I had another lens that could shoot wide angle. Hold on a second. And here it is. I'm going to show you in just a sec the difference. I'm just messing with this backdrop. There it is. Shoot. So I went to my other work studio and got the backdrop. This is the backdrop that I was talking about yesterday. And it's looking great. Only problem is I don't have a proper thing to hoist it up. I just have the backdrop. So I'm like balancing it on an old piece of furniture, which I have just below the desk. Not ideal, but we work with what we have. How you doing, guys? Phoenix, welcome back. I have to crank up the AC, otherwise I'm going to get burning hot in like a minute. So this shot is almost ready to film. And actually, you know what? I'm going to start the work clock now that we're here. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, at this point, it's really just just filling in these little areas that are not textured, like where you can see the desk. Only problem is I kind of ran out of brown clay, so I'm going to have to take a little bit from the back here. See how much further it comes. But yeah, so about the lens. So here are some test shots I took just a few minutes ago. Just kind of playing around with it, opening it up. So here was the picture that I took yesterday. Here's the one that I took just now. So this one right here is taken with my Nikon zoom lens. It's this one right here. So the Nikon zoom lens is 28 to 105 millimeter. Now this Rokinon lens, which is a 14 millimeter, this is what I used to shoot the background for Squid Bob Tentacle Pants when I had the giant SpongeBob head come out of the box. That was shot on a blue screen like this, and I took a picture of the background using this lens. So this lens, it gives you the ability to open up a very small environment. Keep in mind that the camera is actually closer. The camera physically is closer than it was here. Oh my God. Look at how much bigger the ropes in the barrel look in this shot compared to this. I love this. To me, this is so cool. Look at that. So it's the same set, everything's the same size, and just this little relational difference, this distance between the camera and the subject gives a whole different effect using this lens compared to the zoom lens. Because the thing is with the zoom lens, it it kind of closes everything up. And for this shot in particular, since this is a wide establishing shot, I don't want that. I felt like Popeye was a little bit too dominant in this frame, but compared to this opens it up a lot. Let's have a look. And we're still looking pretty good. Just the main concern right here is just plugging in these gaps. And of course, before I shoot, I'm going to take a couple pictures and put them into Adobe Premiere just to make sure that they key out well. I'm just going to move this. Do I still have the pet parrot? No. I had him for 10 years, but I don't have him anymore. I actually donated him. I donated him years ago. But yeah, when I was a teenager, just in my room making animations all the time, he was always beside me, and we did that for years. But after a while, when I started like getting outside more, I felt like such a monster for keeping a bird in the cage. Like it was like disturbing for me. So then I donated him. For those of you who don't know, parrots, they live for like a really long time. Yo, Texas Red Drone, welcome back. Good to see you. But yeah, no, they live for a long time, and I had a cockatiel, which is a smaller parrot, but even they live like well into their 30s. But yeah, so I donated him. That way I didn't have to worry about keeping him in the cage anymore. To me that was like that just never sat right with me. But when I was inside animating all the time, it was fine with me. But when I started leaving the house more, I was like, nah. But yeah, he actually makes a few. You might be able to hear him in the background of some of my old clips. I think he definitely made a couple cameos on the Brick Bob Films channel. Maybe I can get this wood. Nah, it clashes. This one catches the light more, but the other side is hitting the light from my big diffuser thing right here. Whoops. And it's not what I'm going for. Darth, how you doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing some filming today, just completing some setting up. But yeah, so what I was saying earlier is that like last night when I was streaming, I was setting up this shot, and this is what we got. But now I'm using a different lens, and I also got my other backdrop from my other studio. And now we're getting this, a completely different effect. I'm going to have to move some of these plastic bags. Those will not do. trying to think what else I could put into this shot just to show like the distance. Like, just I want it to look messier. Maybe I'll try putting a dead body. But first, some of these need texture. You know, Darth, it's funny that you mentioned that because I was just joking to someone the other day because like I think there's another character, another property that's going into the public domain. And I said something like, "Oh, watch them make like a slasher horror movie with it," because for some reason that's like the go-to thing when a character like enters the public domain. Probably because it's like a genre that's easy to market and easy to produce. But I, if you're asking like what I think about the films, I do not watch them. I am just not. I am not interested. I'm trying to think if there are like slasher movies I like genuinely like. I just don't watch a whole lot of horror, I don't think. I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love that film. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I have to move this back. All right, so the only thing that is messing with me is you'll see that in the corners here, right here, right here, it's kind of entering the frame, but I might be able to take care of that in post. Drew, how you doing? Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. You think it's disrespectful to the beloved characters? Yeah, like to me, I feel like there's a reason why it's called an exploit film. It's not designed to do justice to the original character. It's just this property entered the public domain. Let's do something with it. What's easy and quick to produce? Slasher film, you know? Need my water. It's good to hear, Drew. Yeah, you know what? I think I will take a test shot. I'm gonna drop it into Premiere really quick and just see how it does in the uh, keying out the blue screen. My only concern is that the program will have trouble differentiating it from the blacks in the shot. So you'll notice this is something interesting that I noticed just now, but you will notice when I compare, oops, hold on a second. When I compare, Jesus, hold on a second. So this current backdrop compared to this one, the one that I painted, they catch the light completely differently. What I like about the painted matte finish acrylic paint is that it catches the light very well. But this fabric isn't like the light from the diffuser, which is a big light, it's not traveling very far from the corner, so you get like this dark area right here, which is annoying. So let's see how this looks in Premiere. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just need to see if it's like woefully bad or if there's something about the lighting. Like if I really need to change the lighting or something like that. Let's have a look. Light. Kind of weird. The shadowing is what's really annoying. Okay. I think we're actually good. Yes. And for the corners where the you can see the borders of the backdrop, I think I can take care of that with an opacity mask or maybe a crop. Wait, do I see the wire? I think I can see the wire in the shot. Oops. Oh yeah, I think we should be okay. Yeah, it's looking good. All right, I'm gonna get that wire out of the way. Then I'm gonna start tilting the tripod head. To make sure the lighting is at least somewhat similar, follows some continuity. Yeah, looks fine. The rim of the light has sort of like a yellowish tinge to it, and I want to get that in the shot. Rules, how you doing? Good to have you back. Yeah, we've been setting up for about 20 minutes now, but it's looking pretty good. What do you think? Now we're just kind of getting ready to do this horizontal tilt. Oh, that's scary. Maybe we'll just have some black stuff in the background just to kind of mute out any of this right here, which is a little bit distracting. God dang it. Yeah, you see? Just like that. Now I'll have to get a little bit of brown just to plug up that area. But yeah, no, I am so pumped. The old furniture that I have in my room is going to get moved out this week. I'm moving it out. And the ceiling in my workspace is going to get redone. So I am a happy camper. And this is what, our 6th stream? You guys made it happen. Just gotta tell you. But yeah, it's just like I could, now that I've done this and I'm having that corner opened up, I'm gonna put another desk in. I should have space to work on more things because I've mentioned this before. It's like I'm doing like way too much on this desk. It's a wonderful, wonderful motorized adjustable height desk, but there is a lot going on it. And I think that just having that extra space is really going to help. I like things like I think that your workspace, like you don't need to have like a super neat workspace to get work done. If it's like organized chaos, as long as it helps you get started and get your work done, it should be fine. But having some organization helps, and I find that it helps when certain things just have their own spot. I like it when work has its own designated spot. Like at my work desk here, like I don't relax here. I relax on my couch because I don't want my brain to like associate relaxation with here. I want to associate this place with work. I'm gonna stretch that out a little bit. But yeah, I'm loving this effect that we're getting with this lens. That's the thing. It's like I got this lens for like a really good deal. But it is a weird lens, and it does have very situational use applicability. But I think, especially like in a case like this, like we're getting this big open shot that we just didn't have before. Hey, Lenny, how you doing? Welcome. We're getting ready to film here. This is one of those shots where like I'm not going to be filming much. It's just like the setting up is primarily like the important part. So that's why I try and take my time with setting it up correctly. And I will get rich. Well, I appreciate your saying so. I I am I'm certainly not getting into animation, or rather I didn't get into animation for the money. Like I think that if I could just make a living doing this, that'd be plenty for me. I'm not trying to get like rich. I mean, what's your definition of rich, you know? Is it money? Is it time to do hobbies or spend time with family or just uh, do work that you really enjoy? I would like to have some kind of balance. But thank you so much, Lenny. I haven't done this very much so far because like I'm still not really comfortable doing this. This is like a pretty foreign thing to me, but if any of you guys would be willing to drop a donation, I'd really appreciate it. Not saying you have to. I I would like because your support does help keep me going. This work would not be possible if it wasn't for you guys. But if you can, don't worry. You being here is plenty already. This is our sixth live stream. 10 days ago. Like, I was going to say like 10 years, but even 10 days ago, I didn't think I would be doing this. Lulu, welcome back. You know, just, I did not think that I would be doing this. I was always thinking, like, who would want to sit in the stream and watch me do my work? But I've had some inspiration recently, you know? Yeah, Lulu, let me show you this. So, yesterday, this was the test shot that I mean, let's just maybe test. I was trying it out. The establishing shot of Popeye on the ship deck. This is what we got yesterday, but right now we have this. So you can see that through a combination of really just not even a combination, just changing lenses, we have this completely different perspective. Also, I did end up getting my other backdrop, the one that is really big. That's the thing about this lens, guys. Another reason why I wasn't pulling it out yesterday was because this lens opens up the backdrop so much that you need to have a big enough backdrop to accommodate it. This is big enough, fortunately. I don't have a proper stand for it. This is like sitting down on an old piece of furniture under my desk. I do have to get something to hoist it up easier. Oops, did I move the camera? I think I moved the camera. Oh, well. Oh, I think we're good. But yeah, it's a really cool lens. Want to try and use it for more projects because you can use this 14 millimeter fisheye lens. It's not a really aggressive fisheye, but it is a fisheye nonetheless. You can use it to get some really trippy shots, and you can really trick the eye into seeing a bigger world that isn't actually there. So what I was saying before is that the camera is actually closer here, well, it's like in here, than it was here. The camera was further away here, and I turned up the zoom. But now it's just using a really open lens, you get a completely different view of the same material. Look at how much bigger the piles of rope in the barrel look in this shot compared to this one. Completely different. How's my view look? It looks good. I find this stuff really cool. Oh, God. Yeah. Particularly in, I think it must have been 2016. I'm trying to think when I started doing that a lot, but in my old stop motion program where I was filming Brick Bob films, one second, I'm trying to think what the arc of this shot is going to be. I want to get this tilt filmed. I think this should be good. You know what? Let's just mess around and find out. But yeah, it's just in the old, I'd say around the 2016 era of Brick Bob films, I would draw on the frames because the program that I used just had this like really crude, rudimentary Microsoft Paint-esque tool where you could draw on frames. And I had fun using that thing to create 2D animations like effects. It looked absolutely horrible, like really bad. Wait, hold on a second. I'm seeing some of the floor, or rather my desk. I have to work on that. Yeah, you see that? It's gonna happen. But yeah, I got really into doing it when I must have been around like 14 or something, because in those 2016 Brick Bob Films episodes, like I would do it all the time. They looked so bad. They absolutely did look creepy. That was not intended to be creepy. It just like really did not look good, but I just did it anyway. Yeah, there was this channel that I would watch before I started Brick Bob Films. It was called Rob and Jake. Pretty sure the channel still exists if you look it up. But they made it, this was one of the channels that really inspired me to make Brick Bob Films. Well, Lego SpongeBob at the time, but now Brick Bob Films. It really inspired me to make the channel because This guy just had the line of Lego SpongeBob sets, and I think him and his son or something, they made a whole bunch of cartoons together, original stories. And they had mouth animations for the Lego figures. Like, I don't know how they did it, but like the Lego characters, their mouths would move while they would talk. It was done in post, but keep in mind that at the time, seeing that in a YouTube video was like impressive editing. I'm trying to think when they were making videos. Must have been around 2010. But yeah, just seeing that like fidelity of editing at the time on YouTube was impressive. Maybe the dad like had some background experience in editing or something. Yeah, the Wet Painters episode, the Bully episode. I think I think Sleepy Time. I'm guessing Sleepy Time, and a whole bunch more. They all had that like very grotesque, crude drawing on them. Am I going in the wrong direction? I'm all disoriented. I want to make sure that I'm not starting too quick. I want it to I want because this is a ship moving. This is a ship sinking, so it can't move too fast. It has to you have to feel that momentum and the weight of it. Oops. But yeah, Lenny, what you were saying earlier, like going back to that, like if I could I feel like if I could make a career just being able to make my films in a space like this, of course, kicking up the quality, always bringing up the quality. But if I could just do this, get more people involved, make films, share it with you guys, share the process with you guys, behind the scenes, streams like this, educational stuff related to animation and just the filmmaking process, bringing other animators on board. Like if I could do this, I think that would be pretty awesome. That's like the dream, I feel. Why why be so inclined to get into the studio pipeline when you could do this without being so encumbered? Not to say that I don't want to work in the studio pipeline at some point. I would absolutely love that experience. And I pursue that. I would absolutely love to work on some films and such. But I can't see myself ever getting bored of doing this. You know what I mean? there's no films that's gonna or frames that's gonna overlap. Okay, no. I'm gonna paste them right here. Oh, that's good. That's great, Lulu. I think that writing, it's such an amazing skill because I feel like writing you can just apply to anything. So I know people that really love writing, and I just think like, man, if you really love writing, that's writing is at the core of so many creative things, whether it's animation or film. Storytelling is just at the core of what we do as people. It's at the core of so much creativity. And I think that to have that gift and that interest in writing, you can find some applicability for it because there's so many different ways that you can produce writing. You can produce it as a book or a film or a video game. Yeah, so like me, I've been working on writing for my stop motion animation because when I've always had people asking me if I could make some original Brick Bob films, Lego SpongeBob films, like if I could make some original films like that. Maybe I don't think people really ask me that anymore, but back when I was making like in the glory days of Lego SpongeBob Brick Bob films, like back in those days, people would ask me all the time, would you ever write your own original episodes? And I'd always think like, well, gee, if I'm gonna be going the extra mile to write something, wouldn't I rather just write my own original characters and world? Granted, that takes a lot of work, but I feel like at that point, I would rather just kind of do my own original thing. Well, Lulu, that's the other thing. I used to think oh well, I'm not an original creator because I'm recreating episodes of SpongeBob. You know, I'm not an original. I'm just imitating. But imitation, that's what people who write original stories, they are just imitating. Imitating is that's how you get started. And then I had to realize and wake up that oh no, I'm not it's not that I'm incapable of doing something original. It's that I just haven't done it yet. But the reason anyone I think pursues anything creative is because you saw it somewhere else and you were inspired to do your own take on it. And that's the other thing with even something like Brick Bob Films, even though I didn't write those episodes and I didn't create SpongeBob, even though I haven't done those things, that it's not my original property, I've had a lot of fun putting my own unique creative spin on the episodes. And this can take the form in the way I choose to light a scene, or the music that I choose, or the editing technique that I use. Like, there's so many opportunities to take creative liberties once you've gotten started. You know what I mean? How's this even looking? I like this. That's scary. Oh, I forgot to put a body in front. Oh well, that's fine. Josiah, how you doing? It's so funny. This is so funny. Yeah, Lulu, don't think that you like just because you do fan fictions that you're not capable of doing something original. You're just inspired because of what you consume. I was inspired from what I consumed, which was SpongeBob and stop motion when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Another thing that I could do is add in some 2D animations in post. This is really funny. And then, of course, we have the rest of the animation. I'm feeling like maybe it's a little bit too empty. I'm just trying to picture it with the background. Hold on a second. I have blue screens of different sizes all over my room. Let's see here. Like, what if I took a guy and just put him like right here, or maybe in the background? Like the shot looks really good. Just wondering if it needs a little bit more. You know what? Let me just see the whole thing and just see how it flows. I'll duplicate. Oh, never mind. I don't have the previous frames. Never mind. I mean, it's not like I'm going to disassemble the set. So I think we should be fine. Let's see, $8.99. I see. Yeah, to make sure that this is as cinematic as possible, I want all of these frames to be unique. I don't want to duplicate frames because I want that film grain to show in the lighting. Anyway. Yeah, I saw Chainsaw Man. I saw the anime. That was one of the animes I saw recently. And I saw the film which came out late last year. And I completed Chainsaw Man by reading the manga. Like I read what the ending was through the manga. I've never read manga before, so it was my first time reading one. And granted, it was the anime that motivated me to finish the story. But no, I had a lot of fun with it. Let's see. All right. But yeah, I like how that shot looks. So now we're going to be coming back here. Oh, he's going to get blood on his face. I think the shot's going to be fine, honestly. If I paste it here, is it going to... Yeah, but it's going to bump up. Oh, dear. Just moving frames around. And I think I'll add in post, I'll continue the tilt for this shot of Popeye. Thanks for dropping in, Lulu. Good to see you. All right, so he's going to look. Oh, yeah, he looks to the left, looks to the right. Then he looks to the left. It's going to pan back to the right. It's going to show his face. All right, now I have to take off this lens. This is a big lens. It's very weird. All right, hold on a second. It's cumbersome. This is not an ideal setup. My setup has been getting increasingly messy over the past few weeks, months. But soon, we shall have order. Oops. All right, let's see how that looks. Yes. Now we are back to this look. I'm going to bring him closer. But not too close because we need to maintain that light. Also, I'm going to need a flash for when the shot happens. I'm trying to think if I want to make him look bigger. Making someone look bigger is pretty easy. Try doing this. I don't want to know. Here, actually, let me check. Last I checked, I think it was over 20 hours. Where is it? I'm looking on my computer right now. What's the total? That's what I want to know. Not this week. Just Just total. Uh, 26. Close to 30 hours. Yeah, looks like close to 30 hours. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know what? You never know. We'll see how things play out, but this is probably going to be my last reanimated collab because I just like it's cool to participate in all that, but because like doing this professionally, I don't have the time to be just doing this voluntarily anymore, you know? I figure I might as well go out with a bang. I wonder if I'll have him sweat. Maybe not. I guess I'll use this for the blood. I wish I had something that looks wet for the blood. I wish I had that. I do not. I mean, I could use paint, but I'm not going to have enough control over the paint. Oh, and we're going to need something for the flash. There has to be a flash. I want this flash to be done in camera, on camera. Yeah, we have a lot of lights on here, so I'm going to have to turn a few off because otherwise the flash is just not going to stand out. I'm trying to think what would be bright enough. Oh yeah, I might as well send this to the group, the Discord for the project. I don't have a Lorenzo Discord. Might as well send it. What could I do for the flash? I might have to adjust some of the things of the like the camera and such in order to bring that flash out. All right. Like even my phone flashlight, I don't think is going to cut it. Like turned up to the max. Let's see. I don't have just like a flashlight lying around. I mean, there's a little something. I'm trying to think. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to turn down this a bit. I have to turn down the lights in order to make this phone flashlight thing work. And the reason for that is because the phone flashlight has to be bright compared to the other lights, because right now my phone has to compete with the other lights and it's just not working. So like right now, just by me turning this down, but I'm not going to open up my aperture, because if I open up the aperture, it's going to make the background really blurry, which isn't a bad thing. That's very cinematic. Oh, look at that. You see that? Look at that. Leaf Lord, how you doing? Look at this. Now compare this to what we had a few seconds ago. Look at how much more pronounced that is. Look at that. That's gonna read way better. So before we had this, it's like a little blip, like a someone move the light a little bit. But now we're gonna have this. That is what our flash is gonna look like. Anyway, what I was gonna say about the aperture is that I don't want to open the aperture too much, because I want to keep it as closed as possible, because if I open it, it's going to blur the background, but it's also going to blur the edges of the puppet, which is going to make it difficult to key out the edges or key out the blue screen in post without kind of getting weird, muddy, weird looking edges on the puppet. So, but yeah, now that we've adjusted the light, this can read better. Oh, we're gonna get a little bit of blood, a little scary, a little dangerous, unmonetizable. Yeah, so wait, Lethal Lord, let me show you what we were working on. It's like, so I went back to the beginning before everything goes crazy, and I filmed that wide shot of the boat. So we have the boat just kind of tipping over like it's Titanic. Look at that. Isn't that fun? And we have, because of the new lens that I'm using, we have all of this depth. This is what we had yesterday, and this is what we have today. And keep in mind that the camera is actually closer here than it was here. The difference is the lens, because this was shot using my zoom lens and it was pretty close. But here, the lens just opens up the environment so much, gives it way more of a cinematic feel. And now we're getting back to these close shots of Popeye, but we need to have a flash happen next to his head after Bluto does something with this thing he's holding. And now that I've adjusted the lights, we can make it happen. So the timing is going to be really important here. I'm trying to think if you should be even looking at him. I think it makes sense. I'm trying to think. There's all these decisions that you have to make on the fly. I'm trying to think if it would make sense if he wasn't looking at him when the shot went off. Because we start this whole odyssey, this gauntlet, with him looking to the left. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I'm gonna have him look more traumatizing, more horrible. All right, we're gonna need a bunch of frames of him just standing like this. To be my last reanimated collab ever. I mean, if I do another one, I would keep it way less complex, like way less complex. I'm talking just a puppet in front of a background, like a backdrop, like I did for Zelda Sky. But for this, I had like a very, because of the work, the talent that we have in this project, I wanted to do something that could stand out, that could reach that level of, I wanted to make like a 45-second movie. All right, now here's where the flash comes in. Maybe I think I'm going to adjust the brightness of the flashlight. And because I am because I am shooting using this 410 Gear Junior head, I should be able to follow along with Popeye's reaction. I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to time everything because he's going to have blood splat on his face. If I keep like, I'm instinctively compelled to not say certain words while streaming because I don't want to annoy YouTube or get in trouble. You know what I mean? Because even though I am talking about animation, shooting a film here, it's like there's like, with the modern internet, you have to don certain language to avoid getting like, I mean, demonetized or at worst, like penalized, even worse, rather. Yeah, I think I'll have another. Yeah, getting the timing of this right is important. Very important. What's cool about these modern the modern phones, the modern phone OS, is that you're able to adjust the light of the thing, of the flashlight. You know what? I'm going to turn it up to max. I'll just move the phone closer. Yeah. All right. So it's going to look like, yeah, this is going to be very brief. I do not want to have the flash go for too many frames. Actually, I'm going to start putting the blood on his face now. And then that way he can flinch sooner. This is so funny. It's like, here I am, like, ooh, this is so fun. This is so cute. Me doing my thing. Meanwhile, I'm animating, like, this is the subject matter. Wait, hold on a second. You know what? I think I'm going to smooth out because I figure I only get one chance to do this. I'm going to just smooth out Popeye's neck a little bit because I I don't want to see these seams. That's the funny thing about animating with clay is that when you've been doing it for as long as I have, you just you develop a certain eye for certain things, and you just know that because of the nature of the material, because of how it degrades, because of how messy it is, because of how easily messed up it gets, your brain just kind of develops a very certain pattern of like, okay, this is how I'm going to film it. This, but once the action is filmed, you can't go back. You have to live with it. That's the thing about stop motion animation is that there's a misconception that it takes way longer than CG animation. It really doesn't. The preparation takes a while. That's what really gets it. But shooting it is actually pretty quick. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's just the thing is, especially since we live in the age of Ultra HD, a lot of the imperfections of clay are way more visible. That's the thing. It's like when Will Vinton was making his stuff, it's just they're shooting on film. This stuff was never going to be seen at such high quality. And even if it was, the film grade would hide a lot of the imperfections. Because clay is such an imperfect material. But now, because of how much resolution you get, you're more aware of those little imperfections getting captured, I mean, even for Aardman animations, it's like their post-production team will go over the footage and like get little things like pieces of dust, maybe a hair here and there, just like little things out of the clay. I'm not doing that, so I like it to look good on camera. Ideally, I want to capture as much on camera as possible. I've mentioned this before. I'm not really a fan of editing. I mean, I kind of like editing my animation footage because you're watching it all come together. But still, I've always just wanted my animation to be as, I guess, organic as possible. That's not to say that I'm like a hardcore purist, like it has to be, because there's so many things that you just can't achieve without a little bit of editing, and that's okay. There's going to be editing all over this, and that's okay. But wherever possible, I like to just get it all on camera. That's the thing. It's like, this isn't, I mean, it's sort of a personal project. It's part of a bigger collaboration. I could just like make a thing and get it done. But I wanted to treat this like an exercise. It's a 45-second movie. Now, I've talked about this in past videos, but whenever I work on an animation, I always want to be doing something new, something that gets me out of my comfort zone, something that pushes the boundaries, something I've like never done before. And for this project, I gotta say, it's been the streaming. This has been it. I never thought that I would actually do a stream of me working on one of my films. But here we are. And I've learned a lot about myself because of it. And it's made me think like, gee, imagine all the other things that I could stream. Because there's so many different layers to the work. So many different stages of production. He's going to start to flinch. But yeah, so now we are entering the stage where there's no going back after this. This is where the magic has got to happen, and there is not going to be any reshoots. This has to be on point. And this is where the experience, I think, really comes into play. I just want to get that light on his face. You see how scary that is? Like to get that blinding white light on his face. Look at that. Look at how scary that is. And that's the other thing. It's the light is harsh. Because it is harsh, it's perfect for this, for what's happening right here. All right, so now got to follow through. He's got to shut that eye. So actually, when I created the storyboard for this scene, this was a year ago, by the way. Almost a year ago, like last year, I mean. When I created the storyboard for this scene, I was originally envisioning a like a thing where Popeye is locked in a like an oubliette or a dungeon, and the water is like filling up around him, and he's about to be drowned. Because that's the main thing, the main gimmick about my scene is that in the original shot, a pipe appears above Popeye's head and just pours water on him. And he's like, oh, I guess the roof is leaking. But then, even though this isn't as water intensive, I thought that this direction of like Popeye having like a naval war flashback, I thought that this would be a more dramatic option. So I think I'll have his legs open up a bit. And because we have this tripod head right here, I can follow along with him. Now, I don't want him leaning too much. And before I shine that light on his face, I'm going to add more splatter. Need to be careful in how I apply this blood effect because I don't want to look like I'm just giving him bug bites. You know what I mean? I want this to cover. We'll have that camera follow along with him a bit. Oh, can I zoom in anymore? Yes, I can. I might even add like a Gaussian blur effect. I could do that on camera, but I don't want to do the blur on camera because I might regret it. I could just do that in post and it would look just as well. I just don't know if this is going to look too sluggish. Might. I think he's moving plenty. But now I have to follow through. Get a bit of a zoom. And now that the shot, that the gunshot is subsiding, start to turn up this light again. Can I get like a green? I also might want to do like a harsher light here. Shoot, I think I might take the hair gel out and try and make it look wet. Figure while I'm here. Where even is it? I think I have some here. Yes. Smells nice. I haven't used it before. I think I'll also tilt the camera a bit, get a bit of a Dutch angle. I don't know. Yeah, Lethal Lord, I don't know. I mean the hard stuff is over. The hard stuff is on the ship. There's nothing particularly complex after these, but this is the hard stuff. Now we're going to take a little bit of hair gel. Just going to lather that up. I might even get a paintbrush. How you doing, Dylan? Thanks for coming. Yeah, we're just getting to the fun stuff. Let's see. What am I can't see. It's too dark over here. Hold on a second. This should work. Yeah, I'm going to apply this liberally. Need a lot. Ooh, look at how much more grizzly it looks on camera with the gel. Oh, yeah, that's disgusting. I love that. Nice. So we're gonna move with Popeye a bit and enter that Dutch angle on camera. And I feel like I need more blood. I feel like I'm not seeing enough. I need to see like his face like covered. Yeah. Shoot, maybe I'll even try and like film Popeye like breathing. I think that would be like that's the thing. I want it to be as dramatic as possible. It's just like we're watching something out of Saving Private Ryan. Like as grisly and over the top. That's the thing. It's like, you're animating a shot. You have the stage for just a few seconds, as many seconds as you want, in a very big project with a whole bunch of other talented people. It's like, okay, I want to do the most with my shot. That's the other thing for me about reanimated collabs and why I don't think I'm going to be doing anymore is that if I'm going to be in a reanimated collab, if I'm going to be animating anything, I want to bring my A game. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, I'll just eke out a thing. Like I always want to do the extra 10 miles. Shoot, I might even get chunks of brain in there. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, there we go. And that's the thing is this gel will dry out. So that's another reason why you want to apply a lot. I remember like one of the first times I used this brand of gel for an animated project was it was Sal the Christmas Krampus, and I filmed a shot where I don't know what the guy's name was. The snowman was singing, and he had a bloody axe, and the axe was like drying out while filming the shot. I was like, shoot. But yeah, so another reason that I decided to go with this direction for the scene instead of the like Popeye in a room that's like filling up with water. The reason I went with this direction is because there's less water to animate, which is difficult for stop motion. Very difficult. We've been going on, this stream's been going on for almost, just hit an hour and 40 minutes. But this is the shot that like, this is like the showstopper. This shot. Nasty. Oh, look at how disgusting that looks. Oh, that's hideous. That's great. It's perfect. All right. move a bit more. We're going to tilt a bit more. Am I tilting the right way? A lot going on here. Let's see here. How's this shot look? This is good. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think if I want a little more light coming in from the right, just so it's a bit easier to see his face. Well, I might not. Oh, I mean, oops. I think I won't, because it's making those shadows less strong. All right. I'm gonna have him open his eye in a sec. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I think I want him to reel his head back even more. Just to make sure I'm getting that impact. Wrong one. I did the wrong thing. Oh, the head's not super secure. Shoot. Oh well. All right. I won't push the head too far then. Oops, wrong one again. Yeah, sometimes you just forget which knobs you have to turn. Great, great tripod head though. Where's the right one? Oh my god, this is so horrifying. Oh my god, dude. What am I doing? This is so horrifying. What am I making? This is gonna scare people so much. Oh my god, dude. Dude, people have the audacity in person to be like, oh, well, claymation, that's for kids. Like, you can't tell real, like, dramatic stories with clay animation. I would beg to differ. I am going to prove them all wrong. I'm proving them all wrong right now. The naysayers. And the camera movements are working very well. Yeah, the almost like the Dutch, like the slow Dutch angle is like very disorienting. Very complex, though. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here. right, so he's going to start moving over to his right. I say that like he's a real person. He is right now. So the trunk of the body has to move first. Just want to make sure I'm not doing it too hasty. Yeah, I want the audience to just kind of linger on this for just a little bit. I don't want to move. I want this pose in this image to just read for a little. I'm going to have Popeye move first and the camera will follow. It's more natural. Yeah, I feel like I have a good flow here. Now it's just following through. Wait, did I move the camera already? No, I don't think so. Hmm. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. So do I have? All right, now those eyes have to open. I'm gonna make them open. Yeah, I said this in one of my previous streams. It was like a lot of people associate stop motion, and I see this in a lot of short films too, like desaturated gray, gritty, gothic. But it was popularized by, I guess, Tim Burton's art style. But I really like to use a lot of bright colors. And I like using this for because I use this for a cartoony aesthetic. I do, and I use it in cartoony looking animations or like family friendly look. But I also love using the color and all these things to create like a psychedelic nightmarish look. I'm trying to think of how often I might do something that's like gray. Not not often. I mean maybe you guys could think of something, but I can't think of something I've done recently where it's like I made something gray and desaturated. I love using the bright colors. Oh yeah, that's so good. Yeah, we've hit the 2 hour mark, but this is also going to be my last stream for the week. I'll plan out another line of streams, but I'm hoping I don't think there's going to be too many more of this project because this project I want to get done. I'm going to be working this when I'm not streaming. Either way, just want to get it done. Take it easy, Dylan. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm going to call the stream here as well. I will be finishing this shot, but yeah. I'm going to call the stream here. It's been 2 hours and we've gotten a lot of progress done. And I think you guys can see like what we're cooking up. But yeah, so I'll call it here. To anyone who made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And I'm so excited to share this project with you guys and talk about it more in greater detail. In the meantime, until next time, take it easy, guys. Phoenix, take it easy. And have a good weekend.